I'm Rob.
And I'm Louie.
And this is a traveling back in time review to review QuiVR VR
by Barefoot Gaming.
So, QuiVR. What's the point of QuiVR? First off, QuiVR is a two-part game. You can buy each one separate. There's QuiVR Vanguard, which is old school QuiVR, which is modern, I guess, considering we're back in time.
Yes.
Then there's the regular QuiVR that is all like multiplayer, progressive. Louis, what do you do in the game?
You shoot bad guys with a bow, and as you level up, you can get lightning arrows and do other crazy things that you couldn't do right at the beginning. It makes you super powerful.
So in QuiVR Vanguard, which is where QuiVR started originally, it was basically a defense game where you have wave after wave come at you.
Yeah.
So wave shooter, but it was multiplayer based. So you have a bunch of people defending a wall and you just have monsters streaming at you from different sides. Graphics were mediocre at the time, but they were kind of cuddly and lovable. I don't know how else to describe it.
Exactly.
And then it would be wave after wave, and then all of a sudden a big bad guy would come, and everybody's got to just hit. How do you move around in this? This is actually very important to understand.
It's like teleportation, except you have to aim your bow and shoot an arrow through a teleportation circle, and then that's where you stay. Those are the only places you can move.
So it's node-based teleportation, but you have to actually be able to hit them.
Yes.
So you'll see them all over the place, but you're probably going to have to, unless you're a crack shot like us, you're probably going to have to go to the one that's closest and then go to the next one that's closest. And sometimes they'll have ones that are about the same distance apart, but they're at different areas. So you can have a team of people. Again, I'm talking regular QuiVR and QuiVR, what's the other one called? Vanguard, thank you. In QuiVR Vanguard, you also teleport around the same way. The difference in regular QuiVR right now is the fact that the monsters keep coming at the wall, but as you keep knocking them back, you can keep moving forward.
Yes.
You rush them.
Yep.
And
in the old game, they only rushed you.
Now they also have a procedurally generated system that you move into, which is fine, right?
Yep.
I mean, it's not gonna blow your mind exactly how. It's not all of a sudden you're gonna be in a rainforest type thing. They've got a couple different maps and a couple different, all of a sudden you'll go into a cave and you come out of a cave and you're in the sandy area. And so aside from that, what am I forgetting?
You're forgetting about the target practice. You gotta target practice to be a great archer.
And there is a couple of different ways you can target practice. And you touched on it before, the fact that you can unlock different armor, different arrows, different bows, different gauntlets, different face masks.
Yes.
All of that can happen, again, in regular QuiVR, not Vanguard. It's hard to differentiate them because the game mechanics are exactly the same, except one you're moving forward and trying to unlock stuff, and the other you're just standing there and defending. But at their asking price of 22 Canadian, 22.79 Canadian, $20 US, you get both. So just look out for it. There's 3 different versions.
Yeah.
One includes both games. One is just the regular QuiVR, and one is QuiVR Vanguard for for the $20 US or the 22.79 Canadian. It is both. You get both as an option.
Yeah. A bargain.
A bargain. Louis, let's list some pros, list some cons. I've said the price. Review this out of 5.
A couple of my pros, real quick, are I love the upgrades to the arrow. I like when you shoot a lightning arrow into a group, the lightning will scatter off to the nearby enemies and it'll kill them. Or one of the things I just played recently was I had never seen the acid fog or poison fog, I don't know what it is, but you shoot it at a glowy green orb after you killed an enemy, and then you get arrows that kind of explode, and it's really easy to kill more powerful enemies that would take you forever with just your standard boring old arrow.
And it's timed, you don't have it indefinitely. You might only have 4 or 5 of those arrows, but you use them to your best ability.
You know, my arm gets tired, and, I feel like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but I feel like a badass. I'm constantly killing everything, just slaying every single enemy, and I don't get to feel like that in a lot of games. A lot of games don't make me feel like I'm the one doing the work.
Out of 5.
I'm gonna give this a 3.5. I kind of miss the old skins of the characters, the skeletons with the crazy Viking hat and the shield, and the new guys, they were nice, they looked fine, but they didn't have the same personality, and I kind of missed that.
So I love In Death. In Death is one of my favorite archery games in VR. It's one of my favorite VR games actually in total. And it takes a little bit of transition because the bow and arrow act a little bit different in Quiver versus In Death.
Yeah.
But In Death doesn't have any multiplayer. There is nothing where you can work alongside of someone else.
Yeah.
And honestly, no matter anytime I've popped into Quiver, there's always somebody that you can play with. And
every time.
And no matter how experienced they are, it's fun playing with other people. There is something about that. And I'm always finding people. Like right before this review, I popped on and there was like a younger kid. He was playing with his dad. They were taking turns. Somebody logged in from a VR arcade somewhere and they're like, hey, you can hear me, right? Because they've got push to talk so you can communicate. You can tell people, you know, somebody got behind, you're trying to get to the wall, quickly turn around, right? And you're teleporting, shooting your arrows back and forth, trying to move around. It's a really neat game. It's especially recommended if you know other people that like archery games that you'll know that you want to play with. But if you're okay playing with random strangers, it's still a good time. It is hard on the shoulder. Holding your bow up all the time and reaching over your shoulder to grab an arrow, pull back and fire. But it makes it feel more worthwhile. So honestly, if this is a game that has skipped your radar, I really do recommend it. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5.
Ooh.
That is my score on this. I too miss the enemies in Quiver Vanguard. There's something super homely about the skull heads that were banging into the wall. And now they all look really good. Everybody looks really good. They're all kind of green glowy or whatever, different kind of glowy.
The big winged skulls.
Absolutely. It looked bad, but in a way that I have nostalgia towards. They're gone. This game is still great. I recommend it. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to know when our videos are coming out. Like, comment if you have questions about this game or how I achieved these glorious locks.
They are beautiful.
Glorious. We will talk to you again real soon. See ya.
Bye.